Aloha, I'm Brent and this is Idea Marketing. Today, we're going to be talking about the difference between goals, strategies, and tactics. Now, some people would say their strategy is to increase awareness among Gen Y couples. Others might say their strategy is to hire influencers. But here's the thing, neither of those are strategies. The first one's a goal, the second one's a tactic. Yet they're too often confused and interchanged. And not knowing the difference could be wasting you money and missing opportunities. So in this video, I'm going to show you a simple framework that will clearly differentiate goals, strategies, and tactics. Once you understand this, you'll never confuse these concepts again. And more importantly, you'll create marketing that actually works. Because here's what drives me crazy. I truly believe that marketing can help companies provide unique value to their customers. We can help people think differently about products and services that could actually make their lives better. Maybe it's just an easier way to wash your car or a faster way to make a good meal for your family. But when we get stuck just checking boxes with random tactics, or when we're so vague that nothing actually happens, that's a missed opportunity for both us as marketers and our customers. The company doesn't grow, and people who could benefit never find out about it. A strategic framework boils down to 4 simple questions. Why are we doing this, which is the strategy? What do we need to do to address it, which are our goals? How are we doing it, which is the strategy? What, when, and where are we doing it, which define the tactics? If you can't answer those 4 questions, you could be spinning your wheels with lofty goals and unrealized ideas. But if you can, you could be on your way to success with an effective strategic plan. Let me show you what I mean. Do you remember that Got Milk campaign? One of the most successful marketing campaigns ever created. What was the situation? Well, in 1993, milk was in crisis. Nationally, milk consumption had declined almost 20% over the previous 2 decades. This is despite the fact milk processors were spending millions on advertising campaigns telling people milk does a body good. They kept pushing the health benefits, calcium, strong bones, protein. And you know what? People already knew that. They just didn't care. On top of that, research showed 70% claimed to drink milk frequently. So the problem wasn't getting new people to drink milk, it was getting current drinkers to drink more. So that was the objective, get current drinkers to drink more. That's when the real breakthrough happened. John Steele, a planner at the ad agency Goodby Silverstein and Partners, did something brilliant and possibly a little bit cruel. He asked respondents not to consume milk for a week prior to participating in the study. When the respondents showed up, they were a little bit anxious about being deprived of their household staple. One man relayed his experience of coming downstairs to the kitchen in the morning before work, pouring out his cereal, slicing bananas on top of it, and then remembering his promise of abstinence. He actually considered cheating on the study just so he could eat his cereal. The team even tested this in their own office. Goodby Silverstein emptied the cartons of milk from the firm's refrigerator and installed a hidden camera at the back of it to capture people's responses to finding themselves without milk to pour into their morning coffees. The employees fumbled around the kitchen in frustration, and that's when they found the real insight. People didn't drink milk by itself, they drank it with things: cereal, cookies, coffee, peanut butter sandwiches. 88% of milk was consumed in the home. And when you don't have milk for those moments, it's actually a bit painful. See that? They didn't just say milk sales are down. They dug deeper. They found the real situation. Not that people didn't know milk was good for them, but that milk was invisible until the moment you desperately needed it and didn't have it. Now here's where most companies mess up. They jump straight from the goal to let's make Instagram videos or let's hire celebrities. But Got Milk didn't do that. They developed an actual strategy. Make people realize milk is essential to everyday moments by creating a sense of scarcity. It's not a goal like increase awareness. It's not a tactic like run TV ads. It's how we're actually going to achieve that goal. It's specific enough to guide decisions, but broad enough to inspire multiple tactics. And with that strategic insight and creative concept, they could create an infinite amount of executions. Their tactics including TV spots, print ads, billboards, in-person activations, all showing what life would be like without milk for those everyday moments where you really need it. These tactics brought the strategy to life. Every ad made you feel that moment of panic when you don't have milk for something that needs it. See how each element flows into the next? The situation revealed the insight shaped the goal demanded a strategy, The strategy determines the tactics. When you get this right, everything makes sense. When you don't, you're just throwing stuff at a wall. So how do you know if you're confusing these elements? Well, here are a few warning signs. First, if your marketing team is just talking about features instead of actual benefits the consumer is looking for, you haven't done your situational analysis. You're talking to yourself, not your customers. Second, if your strategy could also be a goal, it's too vague. Engage younger audiences isn't a strategy. It's what you want to happen, not how you'll make it happen. Third, if your strategy is actually just a list of channels or specific activities, you jump to tactics. Partner with 3 influencers per quarter isn't a strategy. It's a tactic that might support a strategy, but it's still not a tactic. Here's what a real strategy looks like. Highlight how your brand fits into the lives of younger audiences by showcasing day-in-the-life content from real people using our product. See the difference? It tells you how you're going to achieve the goal. It's actionable without being limiting. It could lead to influencer partnerships, user-generated content, documentary-style ads, social media campaigns, lots of tactics, but they'd all support the same strategic approach. The problem is, teams are usually either too vague or too specific. They're either at 50,000 feet talking about brand love and engagement, or they're in their weeds, debating whether to post at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. Strategy lives in between. It's the bridge between what you want to achieve and what you're actually going to do. So here's what I want you to do after watching this video. Take whatever marketing challenge you're facing right now and write down these 4 elements. Situation. Why are we doing this? What's the real problem? Goals. What do we need to achieve to address it? Strategy. How are we going to achieve it? And tactics. What specific actions will we take? If you can't answer all 4 clearly, you're not ready to spend money in marketing yet. Figure out what's missing first. Look, I know this sounds simplistic, but getting this right changes everything. Instead of random acts of marketing, you have a clear plan. Instead of tactics looking for a problem, you have solutions that actually solve problems. Your marketing will finally make sense to you, to your team, and most importantly, to your customers. If this helped you think differently about your marketing approach, check out my other videos on developing customer insights and creating messaging that actually resonates. And subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And remember, you don't need to buy more ads when you have better ideas.